very uncharacteristic of me, but I want to talk about makeup brushes today. Hey everyone, if you are new here, my name is Stacy. I feature unfiltered makeup opinions and honest reviews, and like I said in the beginning of this video, we're talking about makeup brushes. So that's what we're doing today. We are talking about makeup brushes that I constantly reach for, that I constantly use all the time. So let's talk about these makeup brushes. So we're gonna do face brushes, and then we're gonna do eyeshadow brushes, and I have a lot of face brushes that I use, but these are like ones that I typically go back to when I am applying my makeup with my brushes. I can give you some pointers on some sponges. We can talk a little bit about that. But typically I just use like a Real Techniques sponge or like an e.l.f. Beauty sponge. Those are like my favorite ones typically. Ulta sometimes has some really good sponges, so those are really good as well. If it has a lot of like bounce to it when it's wetted down and it's not hard, then it's a good sponge. First, face brushes. Like there are some like really good face brushes that I like typically use that I love, and I keep using them over and over again. The first brush is actually from LYS Beauty, and it is their foundation brush. Their foundation brush actually came in a set of 2, and I have the foundation brush and then I have like the sculpting bronzing brush. But let's talk about this one first. It's very densely compacted, and actually I think they almost may have shaped it like a triangle, but it might have like lost its shape because you can kind of see here. But the way that this is like the bristles are, and the way it is very compact and it's very dense, it picks up the product so beautifully. And then you can literally just like very gently buff this into your skin. Very compact bristles, very like airbrush quality with your makeup. I don't get any kind of like issues with my makeup streaking or looking funny or cakey on my face typically when I use this brush. Now I did use it with a Maybelline serum, and that just didn't work very well. It felt very texturized with that specific foundation, and it I think it was the foundation, because I've used this with other foundations and it's just so beautiful because of how compact it is. So that is the LYS foundation brush. And then we have the bronzing brush, which this one is also very compact, but if you take a look at the way that these are formulated, this is more of a flat top, whereas this like comes to a point. It makes it a lot easier to really get in and like contour your face. Even though it's compact, it's actually really soft, and it picks up cream product so beautifully, and it just lays it perfectly on my skin. And with the way that it's like tapered, it just fits perfectly within like the crook of my cheek, right underneath my cheekbone. And then also it's like the perfect width to bronze my face and like get around my face. It is such a beautiful brush. I believe these come in a duo. I got them from BoxyCharm, but you can find them on the LYS website, and they are like stunning brushes. When it comes to packing on powder product, either like just a powder to set my face, or if it's a powder foundation, I love a good kabuki brush because that flat top just makes it easier to like buff the product into your face. And my favorite is this Alamore brush. It is technically it's a bronzer brush, but honestly, this is way better as a foundation brush. It has little like ripples in it, if you can see right here, and it really helps like create an airbrushed quality with your powder product. And because it's still dense, but it's very like soft and also kind of flexible, it really makes it easy to like blend in all of that powder product. Can you tell I just washed it? Technically it is a bronzer brush, but with it having this like textured tip right here, and they're like the brushes are like textured, I feel like it gives it more of an airbrushed look and an airbrushed feel whenever I use like a powder or a powder foundation, and it really just like buffs it into my skin so well. Honestly, when I first got this brush, didn't know it was a bronzer brush. This is a foundation brush to me. It's flat. It's the qualities that I look for when I want a like flat top kabuki brush, and it is literally like one of the best brushes for powder application. I love it. And also from Alamar, I have this brush, and I love this brush for setting the under eyes with powder. So if I'm actually just using powder like to set the under eyes, this is the brush that I use, or I even use it to set powder like, you know, on my forehead and in between my eyebrows. And then I also use it like down here to really concentrate and set in all of the areas where I like really crease or I have problems with. I can use it with a baked formula, I can use it with a loose formula, and it just applies the product so evenly because it's very compact, and then it's also tapered, so it makes it really easy to like get under my under eyes and get around my nose. Technically, this is called the brightening brush from Alamar, but it is such a great powder brush, like because it's almost like, if you can see, it's almost like flat on each side, so it makes it really easy to really like pack the product in there if you really need to like pat some powder on your face. It's so beautiful. This is like a, it's one of those brushes that I didn't expect to love, but I can't stop using it type of brush, and it is the Air Stippling brush from e.l.f. This is like my favorite cream blush brush. It is so beautiful. It really just creates this like airbrushed effect whenever I use like a cream blush product. And I've actually also used it in combination with like mixing, like let's say I want to mix a blush and a highlighter, and I can literally take the little stipples and barely press into this and also into the blush, and then just very easily airbrush this on, and it just looks so beautiful and natural. This is almost like a two-in-one because as of late my makeup preferences has changed where I want my blush to be glowy and I don't really want like highlight like pronounced on my face. I just want it to be a little bit more subtle and not so dramatic. Like 2016 was very, very dramatic with your highlights. But this just like airbrushes, and it just really makes your blush blend and melt into your skin like butter. Again, this is from e.l.f. It's the Airbrush Stipple, and it's literally like the perfect size for blush because it's like tiny enough where it's concentrated, and then it has these little like fibers on the end that make it really easy to be able to like airbrush and get the product right on your face, right where you need it, and get it like detailed and beautiful. Now I'm also in love with another stippling brush, and it's the LaRousse Beauty. It is the LR316 Duo Fiber Brush. This is my bronzing brush, and this has been my bronzing brush for like, I want to say years, because it gives you a very concentrated amount of product on your face, but it also has these duo fibers in it that really like make it look so airbrushed and like seamless on your face. I specifically only use this brush for powder bronzer though. I've never used it with a cream. I don't think I could use it with a cream because the duo fibers are just so lightweight and feathery, and that's the quality that I love when I pick up a powder product. Okay, let's talk about probably one of my favorite two-in-one brushes that I have ever purchased, and it would have to be the soft blending brush. It's the number 60 from Sigma. I actually got this in the Warm Wishes like whole like collection when it came out last year for Christmas, but this is literally like a two-in-one brush. The bristles are very, very like flexible, but it is a skinny enough brush that you can mix and blend it with a powder blush and a powder highlight. That's the only thing that I use it for, is powder product. I don't use it with cream product. They do have a soft blending brush like on their site, so you can actually purchase this one, not with the Glisten and Glow set. But I love just like dipping into both. And then again, I like airbrush it onto my cheek. And sometimes I'll just use this brush and I'll dip into the blush, I'll put it on and put it on, and then I dip in again into the highlight and I put it on and I put it on. And what I really like about this is that it's skinny enough so that if you want a little bit more concentration with your highlight, you can get that, but it's also flexible enough that it like really blends the product in. Just now that we're talking about highlights, I do have one highlight brush that I have used for like, I think 2 years now, and it is the Dragon Fruit Cleona brush. It's technically the DF60. This is a highlight brush, but it is very like tapered and flexible where you can get a really beautiful, impactful highlight. But the other thing that I like about it is that it's not too skinny, where I don't get a streaky highlight. It's more of like a diffused highlight, which is what has really been trending lately, not the streaky highlight, but the diffused highlight. So I typically take it and I dip in and then I just like buff the highlight product onto my face. I do not use this brush with cream product. It's only with powder product, but it is really beautiful just getting and airbrushing the highlighter formula onto your face. Let's talk about my brushes. I have two from Sigma Beauty that are like actually technically three. I'm sorry, I forgot about this one. I have three from Sigma Beauty, and these actually came in like a Kelly Gooch gift set. I need to wash this one again because it's really dirty. She's supposed to be white and she's not white. But I have these three brushes from Sigma Beauty. These are like go-to Sigma brushes. We have the E40, which is a tapered blending brush. I love this for the crease. If you watch any of my tutorials, I use this a lot in my tutorials, and I typically only use this when I want to blow out the color and when I want like a really blown out crease. That's typically what I use it for because the bristles are long, the brush is flexible, but it is not too flexible where you lose the blend, but it's just like the perfect combination of blend. And then we have the Sigma E24. This is great for like outer corner and then into the crease because of the way it's almost like skinny and then fat at the top. So it makes it really easy to like pack the product on and like blend it out. I love this brush. And then we have the EO6, which is a winged liner brush. And I love this one because it's just so tiny to be able to do winged liner, whether you do powder or you do a cream product. I'm the type of person who always uses a powder product, but this is like the perfect little brush to be able to do winged liner. And these brushes are just so beautiful. They have quality handles, and Sigma Beauty actually comes with like a warranty for like a year or so on their brushes if they do break, but they're beautiful. I got these in the Kelly Gooch set, but they're literally my favorite Sigma brushes. Then we have these brushes. These are the Singe Beauty 5-piece brush set. This is the brand by Angelica Nyqvist, and I can't get enough of these brushes. I think every single day I use at least one of these, if not all of these brushes. And I want to start with the brush that I don't use as much, and that would be the EO5. It's just very tapered for detailed eyeshadow work, and I don't really do a lot of like detailed eyeshadow work. I do like it when I'm actually wanting to do like a really like concentrated color like in the crease, and I find that's what this is really beautiful for. Or if I want more of a diffused under eye, I will actually use this brush and I will just do a really diffused under eye because it is so tiny. It's really easy to get on the under eye. And again, that's the EO5 from Singe Beauty. Here's the EO4 from Singe Beauty, and this is almost like a flat brush, but it also has a little bit of floof at the end, if you can see it here. It is the best brush for shading your under eyes because it is floofy, but it's also got stiff bristles, so you can actually really just like get underneath your under eyes, and like you can get underneath your lashes, and you can just really like get that color right on your lower lash line. And then it's great when you're wanting to blend the lower and the outer corner, and you can really get some detailed work on your eye with the EO4 from Singe Beauty. It's my favorite under lash line brush. It is like probably one of the best brushes I have ever used for my lower lash line. It's so beautiful and it's not scratchy. Like, you know how there's some brushes where they're not long enough and like the brush metal part starts like poking your eye? That's not this brush. This brush is just so easy to work with and it doesn't like scratch your under eye at all. I actually have something. And then we also have the Singe EO3 brush. This is my favorite crease brush when I want something super, super blown out and I just really want to pack on the color. I did use it today and I love how flexible these brushes, like this brush is. Like, it's so flexible and so soft. It is literally the perfect brush for laying down. Like, if you want a one and done eyeshadow look, you can use this. I love using it with my mattes, and then I also love using this to really get like a very pigmented crease, but it also is very like lightweight and feathery when you put it on. And that's how it applies the product. It's not like super punchy, pactful. This is like a great blending brush for like the crease and like up into your brow bone. It's just so soft and so fluffy. It's so easy to use. And my favorite outer corner brush is the EO2 from Singe. And I love this one because if you can see, it's like tapered and it comes to a point and it's almost like super easy. I love just like packing it on, and then it's fluffy enough where I'm able to like blend out the color. And it also has that tapered point, so I'm able to actually like really get like some detail right on the outer corner, and that's typically what I use this for. And then sometimes I do take it and I bring that color like into the crease a little bit and like over into the inner corner. But this is such a great outer corner brush. That's like literally what I use it for. And the last one that is literally my favorite brush for picking up pigmented shimmers, some multi-chromes. Like if you really want an impactful inner corner highlight, the EO1 from Singe is like your boss brush. Like it is so good. And it also is like a little bit tapered, but it's also flat. And it's very dense, so you're able to really pick up the product and like really concentrate it on the inner corner of your eye, and it picks up shimmer product so well. It's so beautiful. These are the face brushes that I love, that I have been using so much lately, and all of these brushes I will try and link in the description box down below for you. But like the Singe Beauty 5-piece brush set, this is like my favorite 5-piece eyeshadow brush set. And with these three, and then I also use those 3 Sigma Beauty brushes, like those are it. That's my eyeshadow brush. Like for like that's what I've been using since Singe Beauty launched. I've been using just the Singe Beauty brushes since like when I received my brushes in April, and now it's August. So it's been forever. I feel like those are just my go-to brushes. And the Sigma brushes are like my go-to brushes. I hope you guys like this video. I will leave linked down below in the description box links for these brushes that I did mention in my video today. If you like content like this, please subscribe, and I hope I get to see you in my next video. Bye!